For Mr. Matt Ferranti.
Woo!
Thank you, Megan. So I'll tell you just a little bit. I'll give you a sense of momentum. Yesterday we had Terry McAuliffe. It was a phenomenal event. John was there. John is always there. He's like the best candidate. So, and most of you have heard a lot of what I've had to say. So I'm going to keep it into 4 quick things about me and why I'm running. And then I'll talk a little bit about Tom, and hopefully that can segue to an introduction. So, first 4 things about why I'm running. We need new vision for a sustainable economy that can work for everyone in Arlington. So many are doing well in Arlington, but that doesn't mean they will continue to do well, and that doesn't mean we don't have poverty. We got 8.5 poverty in Arlington, which is too much. We can do better. So that's the first piece of why I'm running. Other reasons that schools are a huge issue for me. We need to build the schools. Pat talked about it. We need to build the schools so that 5th and 6th graders have space to go to high school. We have the best schools in Virginia, but we need them to be world class, and that requires investing in them. The third and fourth reasons: 100% renewable energy in Arlington by 2035. That's the sort of thing. And then lastly, I work for Feeding Americans, so child hunger is something that should not be a part of what exists in Arlington. So by 2022, I want to work with AFAC and other partners to end child hunger in Arlington. So those are big goals. That's a progressive vision, and that's part of why I'm so happy to be here with Tom Perriello. And I'll say 3 quick things. First, I think it was 2010 or 2011. I was working for Habitat for Humanity, and it was on I Street, and in comes Tom Perriello with this huge group for energy efficiency. And I have not heard folks speak that eloquently, that passionately about this key issue, this defining issue for our country. Climate change and energy efficiency is just so critical. So that's the first moment. The second moment I just want to talk about, I've signed a no oil pledge, and he has led on Dominion, and that is to his credit. Let's give it up. And then lastly, of the 15 seats and the 7,000 Arlingtonians who got Medicaid because we won those 15 seats, that the way that you led last year is just a huge credit. And there's no doubt that some of those 7,000, maybe all of them, would not have health care but for Tom Perriello. So I'm honored to introduce him. Great to be here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Barbara and Abstentia, and by proxy, Jill, you are a force of nature. Thank you for emceeing. Thank you, Lowell, I guess. But I just want to thank you so much for caring about local offices, and thank you for stepping up to run. I'll be honest, I actually hate running for office. It is not the most pleasant process in the world, but I do love public service. And over my lifetime, one of the biggest problems we've had is that the conservative side tended to take local and state government very seriously, and we tended to focus on the national. But we know when it comes to people's politics, nothing is more important than their families. And the things that affect our families happen at the local and state level. Whether that's the quality of our schools, the quality of our roads, whether it's the fairness of our criminal justice system, far more of these things play out in local and state politics, and we have ceded that ground. But what's so exciting about this group, including Matt and Barbara and others, is that we're not just talking about going from R's to D's. This is a generational shift to a bolder kind of politics that's actually going to transform people's lives and rejuvenate that sense of opportunity and fairness that made us get into politics and made us care about the Democratic Party in the first place. It's not enough to just be Democrats, and it's not enough to win. Our goal is to make a difference in people's lives. And that's why this agenda that you've heard from Barbara's team and from Matt is so important. We are facing a time where we're seeing historic disruptions in terms of inequality, in terms of climate change. We have to be bold enough to win these seats and then go in and do transformative things so that people re-elect us, the kind of things that make their family believe the American dream is still possible. We need to use this election cycle to find every voter we can in Arlington and across the Commonwealth. We have an opportunity not just to send Senator Kaine back to the Senate, but we need to send Corey Stewart away from politics forever. To send amazing women to Congress from across Virginia and Anthony Flaccavento. We have amazing people who have stepped up to run in these seats. And what we have is a set of people, even in Arlington, but also across the Commonwealth, who've never thought about voting for the Democratic Party before, who are so disgusted with what they see on the other side. But it's not enough for them to just be disgusted. We have to give them something to be excited for. And we can do that at the local and state level here in Arlington by running the tables. But we have some of our first local Democrats elected in Floyd and Lee County and other places in some of the most red parts of Virginia. Those are people that are going to be filling potholes, making sure schools are built, convincing people that clean energy jobs are the jobs of the future. We have that opportunity right now, and if we don't take full advantage of it by putting everything we have into those phones, into the doors, into every conversation we can have, where we work, where we worship, where we live, then we are going to regret it for a long time. This is a bigger deal than any one office or one seat. This is about using this moment in history, being worthy of this moment in history. So I'm just so excited for those who've stepped up to run, for those who stepped up to lead parties, for those who stepped up to report on it. This is a moment that demands the most from all of us, and it is so inspiring to see what you're doing. So I hope that you will continue to do this, whether you can write checks, whether you can dial phones, whether you can put a bumper sticker on your car. Do the things you need to do to make people know these local races exist, to make sure we get every voter out. And I think what we started, the transformation we started here in Virginia in 2017, we're going to see from Arlington across the Commonwealth and the country in 2018. And we're going to be looking back and ask by our children and grandchildren what we did at this moment in this country and in this community. And we're going to be proud as hell of what these people stepped up to do and that we had their back. So thank you very much for running. Get these people elected. Thank you.